connect that what
Unfortunately, I'm not hearing sound from the studio.
Yet your own politician was committed against the foes.
In contempt for not appearing before them when they receive the communication. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We at the Ministry of Finance consider the Senate or the legislature in general as critical to the success of the ministry, critical to the achievement of the goals that we all set as a government. So I will not willfully and intentionally decide to not to honor the invitation of the Honorable Liberian Senate. As you all know, we are in difficult moments with the situation evolving in the Middle East that have some reverberations on us. I chair the technical economic management team that comprises other actors in the economy. We also are facing some issues, some of you are aware, with the situation of our border. I am a member of the National Security Council, which has been meeting since Monday, including last night. We met as a cabinet on Thursday to discuss our development agenda, the progress for the first year challenges. We did not exhaust, and we had planned to exhaust the remaining pillars on Tuesday, and given the time that was allotted, given that it was just those residual pillars, my intention was to deal with those issues and make myself available at the Honorable Liberian Senate to join colleagues to give more insight in what we know about the situation at Bar. As we were meeting, in fact, I had even earlier informed the President that I would be coming to the Senate, but things evolved. While we were meeting, the situation on the border got a little bit more exigent, and the cabinet had to huddle in making some quick decisions, some of which has some monetary implications. And while we were meeting, we had to conclude some initiatives with the Liberia Petroleum Refining Corporation to ensure that we don't run out of critically needed fuel. And those actions were, I was at the center of those actions. And while I was even attempting your colleagues, the Honorable House of Representatives, had asked that I be presented, my living body be presented at the House. So it was an issue that we had to address. My deputy, who was here to tell you that I'm coming, reached at the legislature, and when she heard that it was not only my living body that was being sought, but all deputies, she was in the perimeters, but she had to find some tactical way to deal with it. And so, while in conversation with the House, explaining some things, when we contacted through the deputy, because I was on my way and were told that the session had adjourned. So it was no intention to disregard or disrespect this honorable body. The issue at the House had to do with payments. As we speak, I don't want to name the bank. We are facing problem. There is not only members of the legislature. Monies were remitted almost 2 weeks ago, but there's a bank that is facing some challenges in paying government workers. So want to understand the sentiment at the House, and I'm told that some of you here are affected. We have to take time. I don't want to make the situation worse, but it's been sorted out. And so while doing that, trying to negotiate with your colleagues, the Speaker and his team, and trying to make my way, we're told that the session had been adjourned. So that's why I came. I said earlier that this is not legalistic, that I'm coming to the House of Elders. I'm always available. So I had no intention, I would never ever set out to disregard the Honorable Liberian Senate. The reason why I brought my deputy and the technical folks, because I'm very aware that the issue of bar that you called the session was still germane, and so that if to the extent that you want that conversation can be held. So I'm at your disposal. I'm also at your mercy. So, but whatever your wisdom decides, I'm your humble servant. Thank you very much.
You should not be held in contempt.
Thank you very much. You can get me now? Are you getting me now? Hello, are you getting me now?
Hi guys, are we having a technical problem?
Are you getting me now? Are you getting me now? Are you getting me now?
Who is talking in the background, gentlemen?
I'm hearing you, Moses. I'm hearing you.
Yes, Moses, yeah, I'm here. But I'm not hearing anyone in the studio.
I'm hearing you, Moses.
Okay. You guys have a technical problem?
I don't know because Iriam said I'm not coming on the show.
Yeah, everything is down.
Play the thing, and see what can happen. Play the thing quickly so you can do some adjustment.
Yeah.
Play the thing. Moses, are you hearing us now?
Yes, I am. I just saw you, but I'm not. You guys have any problem in the studio?
But we're hearing you, Moses. Are you hearing us now?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. All right. So let's ask Mr. Masukwe. Mr. Masukwe, are you hearing us? Are you hearing us also?
Definitely, I'm hearing you clear now.
Okay, I think he just increase the sound.
Yeah.
Normally, look how it seems then, technical, please. Now, gentlemen, you listen to the, let's begin with you, Edwin. You listen to the Minister of Finance. Like I said initially, the lower house sent for him, instructed, their sergeant arm to get his living body and the living bodies of his deputies. But again, they didn't get them. They seemed the Senate also requested their appearance. But today, finally, the minister did appear. Let's hear from you, your takeaway from what the minister said.
Well, I actually listened to the minister like I always do. He's one of the most seasoned politician and a finance minister that you can, refer to for the past, I can say, 15, 20 years that we've had in our country. But there's something very interesting that we see in our legislators, the house of both houses, because they have this whole contempt power, so they always try to, fighting members of the executives. For me, I didn't see the reason why the lower house had to send for the minister living body and his deputies. A very simple issue like delays in salaries and delay in gas slip could have just been done by a communication from the Secretary of the lower house, actually ascertain what was going on. Now, for the upper house to also, yes, they sent for him. But again, like he clearly stated, there are a lot of events that are happening over time. None of us was expecting the current global crisis with what happening in Iran and Israel that is actually going to impact or is not impacting the rest of the world, because we all rely on the global fuel supply from the Middle East. And then, quote unquote, again, on the same Tuesday, while the cabinet were, meeting to conclude exactly some of the things that were discussed in the Thursday cabinet meeting, the fracas at the Guinea border also erupted. And Minister Gafuan, being the finance minister, he sits almost on all the key areas within the Republic, which include the Security Council. So therefore, if there's anything that needs the Ministry of Finance intervention in terms of financial resources, and definitely that will come through. He has to get money to be able to give it to the relevant security apparatus to quickly dispatch.
So in essence, you are saying that the decision to invite the minister or summon him was not justified at all.
It was not justified by the lower house per se. Yeah.
Let's hear from you, Edwin. What do you think?
I think it was, but did he address it properly? Yes.
No, I mean lower house. I'm not saying the Senate.
Even the Senate, even the letter rating given the chief clerk, how to call it, the sergeant at arms instructions. As I said all the time, it's formality. They're not going to arrest the minister. They said that, but they have the right to ask the the Minister of Finance about their statuses of their salaries and benefits. They have that right. Once those things, those is their rights. Once they are delayed, it becomes problem for them. It has a propensity to impede. We may not like them, but let's say the truth for certain things. So that could be contemptuous because they know the minister they're dealing with, his character, the type of individual he is. So it took their own time, and he went there and adequately addressed the constraints, the challenges they're facing, and what they have, the Ministry of Finance has done up to date, alone, allay the whatever concerns that those senators had. Let me say something to you about the legislature.
But your colleague says something.
Yeah.
He said it was just an issue of maybe send a communication to the minister. Mr. Minister, we are observing that up to present we have not received our gas slips and there's delays, in getting our salaries. What's happening? And just a communication that would be exchanged between the Ministry of Finance and that of the legislature. Then to say what I'm using contempt power on you.
Okay, so you, I don't know what are those things were done. The minister is a basic person. Probably something was done, and no time to sit in the office to act. Probably.
Nobody said
And
it.
also probably calls were placed to him because no time for him to act. So those guys that made it better prioritize our own case too, because all the issues we're talking about, they are all serious. But we have our contempt. They didn't use the word contempt. They just say, why is not to bring a living body? But it's contemptuous before the legislature if the Ministry of Finance cannot pay them, cannot settle their benefits and other things to facilitate their going to work and coming from work.
Do you think?
He dealt with it. He dealt with the situation to my satisfaction.
Okay, before I go to Moses, Edwin, do you think the minister was very smart indeed when he said, "Well, I didn't bring a lawyer because what you called me for was not legalistic."
So that's why I said there was two issues. There are two issues here that we are actually discussing. One has to do with the lower house, and the other one has to do with the Liberian Senate. Now, the Liberian Senate call was not basically on issue of salary and gas levy. It was other issues that have been brought before them. If you listen to Senator Bravo Brown, Senator this Gala from Lofa County, the issue of teachers not being put on payroll, the issue of healthcare workers, and so these were the issues we called him to address. Now, with that, they had genuine point because they're going for break in the next few days, and they need to report back to
trying to go back on your word.
No.
You initially said they didn't.
I said the lower house. I said the lower house.
No, you said the Senate as well.
Yeah,
said that. They didn't have any genuine reason to invite the minister.
But again, but my emphasis was actually on the lower house because if they say bring the damn living body to answer to issues why he shouldn't be held in contempt, it means that they have something genuine to place before you.
Okay, let me go to Moses. Moses, I don't know, but I want to believe that you listen to the Minister of Finance. This is not the first time, Moses. Often we hear about contempt power from the legislature. But the reason for which they invited the minister, the both horses. Let's talk about the both horses now in the Senate. If you listen to the lower house, they dispatch their Sergeant Arms to get his living body and the living bodies of the other deputy ministers. Now, they started the issue of gas slips and salary delay. Moses, do you think these reasons or reasons for which they invited the ministers are cogent enough? Are they genuine? Because one will say that, but why? We haven't seen them inviting the minister when there's no drugs at JFK. We haven't seen them inviting the minister when students are still sitting on the bare floors in part of rural Liberia. We haven't seen them inviting the minister when there's no problem water in other parts of of the country. But they are now inviting him, one for gaslit, two for delays of salary. Moses, how does that appear to you? What's your reading in that?
Well, first, let me say hi to all of you in studio.
Moses, your audio is terrible. I think you need to go back. You need to go off and come back on. Your audio is terrible. We don't know what's happening. Your audio is terrible. Moses?
Yeah.
They say he going up there, come back.
Okay, let's hear from you, Mr. Massacre. If you are there, let's hear from you the same question.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I want to pillow my conversation on the basis of the law. The contempt power of the legislature is pillow and enshrined in Article 44 of the 1986 Constitution. Contempt of the legislature shall consist of the ability to obstruct legislative function, impede members from doing their duties, and when you are called, you should pay a fine. There should be a sanction. So once you undermine the workings of the legislature, the contempt power, it makes sense. But I believe in my mind that particular contempt action from the House of Representatives, it was an abuse to the contempt power. There are contingent national issues in this issue. Today, there is high level of sodomizing of boys and women and girls. This particular legislature have never issued any contempt power on the general minister. Today, like you rightly said, hospitals have been abandoned. In Phoebe hospitals, people were leaving. You have nurses going on go slow. Hospitals were vulnerable. Patients were taken back at home. We didn't see the legislature using contempt power. In the same period of that, there was an incursion on our border. We didn't see the legislature issuing a contempt power. So I believe, Mama, this is the magnitude of the kind of legislature we have. The 54 legislature need to get serious. There are national and coding issued in this country. Because the last time I checked, they same very finance minister told all that they could be paying people on the 15th. So on the side of Minister Gafan, they expose this.
No, let's let you correct that, right?
Yeah, okay. Can I,
okay, just 1 minute, Mr. Massacre, 1 minute.
Mr. Massacre, I know we all want to beat things, but the truth is, Mr. Massacre, when you talk about the legislature, you talk about their contempt power, it's something that impedes their function. One of the key things, if you hold their salary, the minister here, they didn't hold their salaries, they didn't hold their benefit, but certainly the cost of the delay, that's why he went to explain. The Phoebe hospital is not a government hospital. Government is helping to pay the salaries of those that are working in that private hospital. It's good for us to make some of these records straight. The government is helping to pay the salaries and wages of nurses and doctors at Phoebe Hospital. Phoebe Hospital is not a government hospital. It is owned by the Episcopal Church and I think the Lutheran Church or something combined in America. They don't fund that hospital, but because it was the only referral hospital in Central Liberia at the time, and they were facing funding gap, especially after the war. Dr. Watoff Gwaniga, may his soul rest in peace, fought hard in order to have Phoebe in the government budget, giving them subsidies on the up to date. So it's better for us to address some of these things or come with truthfulness.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree with you. But
so what contempt will the legislature charge the finance minister for contempt for that hospital when the same legislature approve the salaries of those that are working there?
I agree with you, but that is a very illicit defense of wanting to say that the Phoebe hospital issues is not an issue that should be solved. Just yesterday, we should not forget very quickly, when government accepted to provide subsidy to a particular hospital, it becomes the moral and fundamental responsibility of the government to give that subsidy. Why you want to come tell us that because, oh, it's not a government hospital, or is a subsidy? Those subsidies were to be given. Nurses around the country were protesting. It's not only feeding, it's not limited to feeding. My point I'm trying to make is there are cogent national issues in this country that the finance minister have refused to address. Those lawmakers are only bothered about their personal salaries and gaslit. It is an utter shame.
Okay, let's wait there. You make a point. Let's hear from you, Moses. The same question, Moses. I know you heard the question and you were about to answer when you went over. Let's hear from you now. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Now, do you think?
Very clear. Very clear. Still
And I'm very clear.
But we,
Moses, your line's still terrible. We are not. It's still coming in broken. We are not hearing you. I think you have to go off again and check your.
Let me check
your
his
equipment,
audio.
check your audio, check your microphone, everything. You have to go. You have to go off and come back on.
You're breaking.
Okay, so go back off, go back off and then you can come. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat here, right on Pram FM 105.5. We are streaming live on Pram FM Monrovia 105.5, and they're streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. We are on. You want to watch the show online? Just tap Nighttime Heat out on your Facebook or your YouTube, and of course, you're going to watch the show online. Yes.
So I to just support what
Fode said. Transition.
Yes. To just support what Fode said. I think when you're looking at articles within the Constitution, you also have to look at the intent of the framers. The intent was not basically to have people from the executive coming in there back and forth because there's some salary issue or there's some gas issue or so. When they say contempt, it means it's something very grave. Now, we know salary issues are important issues. But like I said, they could have just taken the Secretary of the Lower House to communicate through the Speaker's office and say, Mr. Minister, there are issues. Lawmakers have not received their salary for this month. They have not received XYZ. What are the issues? The same thing that he should have gone there to go and sit with them and say it. That's what he said today, that there are issues with the bank. And it is not only the lawmakers, even government staff have not been paid because of this issue with the bank. And like Fode said, look, there are important national issues. As we speak, our sovereignty is being threatened by a foreign power. All right? In fact, I thought on Thursday, when that news hit, that same house should have called an emergency session to discuss the issue of the incursion on our land by Guinean soldiers who were well armed that came and put a flag on our territory. I thought that would have been a major issue. Rather, I saw them running around, you go bring the minister, you do as look, we respect them. They have the constitutional power to do certain things. But when you are serving the state issue becomes paramount above everything else. Your salary is important, but the integrity of our state at this crucial point in time was very important in anybody's life.
Okay, so your circumcision token.
So the thing is not what I gather from the question that you asked, it's not really what the legislature, whatever happened behind the scene, while a letter was written or not, this, that. I think you heard the minister, had they not getting information, he would not have sent the deputy minister at the time on the Capitol Hill. So certain beliefs that we have here that we need to erase. People feel that when you are in the legislature, even when you right, you're wrong. I don't want us to believe that. If people's salaries are delayed, it has a propensity to violate Article 44 of the Constitution. That is to impede their work. Let's say this and face it.
So I'm
not saying, excuse me. Yeah. When you were talking, I didn't say anything.
Go ahead, Chief.
I said I love the way the minister addressed the issue eloquently. And he put it in the right context and explained himself to the extent that he needed no one even to ask him, which was done. But to tell me that if you don't pay them, it's not an impediment.
So you are saying, Mr. Kennedy, you are saying that because some of the colleagues are saying, well, we had the issue of the border field, we had the issue of health worker salaries and all of that. So your position is that the salaries of those lawmakers and their gas slips carry the same weight as
No, I'm not comparing the weight.
Okay.
I'm saying, look, it's not for this month that the people.
Because they are
it's
saying
not for this month.
that
Let's get it right. This is March that we're in. The incident started March. It's not for this March that the lawmakers talking about their March salary and benefit.
They say in February. It's February salary.
They're talking about February.
Yeah.
February has ended today. What, March 12th? All right. So if they ask for it, it is their right. For me, under the law, you just came from the law school. Okay? If it is not there, we tell them it's not there. We tell them why it's not there. That's why the minister did. That's why I'm impressed with him about.
Okay, we'll have to transition. Let's hear from Moses. Let's hear from Moses first. Moses, welcome. Having spoken on this, let's get your take.
Yeah, do you agree now?
Yes, you much better now.
Wow.
You know, when he started.
Moses, I think you have to do audio. I don't know. Maybe you have to do audio because it's you know.
When you started, go off and come on.
When you start, you can come on, but later you just go off later. Are you using laptop or something? It's just better use your phone direct.
Okay, so you're listening to the Nighttime Heat rented on Pram FM 105.5. Kindly share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow on what's happening tonight on this program. The Nighttime Heat is the only unboring talk show, nighttime talk show. We don't take much of your time. We know you have to go to bed, so we just measure the time. And after you watch the show, in fact, when you're about to sleep, is when the show is about to end. So it's like we see you in your house. I think Moses wants to go audio. Let's see what we can get Moses quickly. Yes, Moses, let's hear from you.
Yes, okay. We are in technical glitch, but let me say this quickly. I definitely agree with what Mr. George Kennedy said. However, this is where I would like to take side with my brother Edwin Famulem on. Inviting the Minister of Finance to appear along with his deputies, it is justifiable legally. It is justifiable. However, like Mr. Famulem said, in the wake of the trending situations, globally and locally, to invite the Minister of Finance and say, we haven't gotten paid. We need our cars, we need gasoline. It is true. It is true. You need to be compensated. It is true that you need gasoline in your vehicle. But do you know that you have a crisis in Lofa? Do you know that you have a crisis in Iran that has economic implication on your country? Like again, Mr. Famulem said, this is what people do in government. You take the phone, you call, you coordinate. You don't go public, whining about salaries. Like Mr. Masako said, what is happening at Phoebe? The appalling school situation in the country. There are a lot of people in the country that have gone for months without salaries. You have never heard our lawmakers complain. You have never heard our lawmakers speak for those people. So what it did to Minister Gafon just shows that what? They are selfish. They are being insensitive. They are not in tune with what is happening in the country globally. It is true. They need to be paid. but they did not demonstrate leadership. This is where again Rachel Coon's ability to lead comes into question. He didn't show leadership. Let me stop there, guys.
Okay. Do you agree to them quickly?
Well, we all saying the same thing, but with different tune. That's all. We all agree that issues that started this month. All right. We all know there are issues that going on in the Middle East. Okay, but the truth is, the people are right to ask. That's
Then
it.
we are not. Then we are not saying. Then we are not
and-
saying the same thing, Mr.
No,
George.
if you say they don't have the right to ask, I mean, I don't know where you are, because Mr. Pamela would not say they don't have the right to ask.
No, then we are not
Mr.
saying the- we are
Mr.
not saying
Sandy
the
told
same
you,
thing.
Mr. Sandy told you that they have the right to ask for their
I'm
salary.
talking for myself.
Right.
I'm
Okay,
talking for myself. Mr. Sanders, I'm talking for my. I'm talking.
so that's why I got that from them anyway.
So
You know, so that's exactly what we all saying. But the condition of the current state to say, oh, this is the reason why you should not. And I keep saying, we don't know as to what our communication went behind the scene, because the minister is very busy. He gave a schedule. No minister will get a chance to read a session communication because he's been very busy. If a session communication went and he didn't see it, probably because of his tight schedule, it doesn't mean that there was no thought behind the
So
scene.
Slavo,
Okay.
so
Yes.
Slavo,
Yes.
if
Okay,
there
we'll
were,
have to transition
if
here.
there were any communications sent to the minister, there are a couple of ministers that are at the Ministry of Finance. You even have Deputy Minister on expenditure, and these are our expenditure issue. I'm very sure that he would have had attention aid to that minister to say, please look at this and give feedback.
What if he
to
didn't
that.
see it?
Look, what we're saying here is that, look, we need not to push our people to misuse contempt power in this country. And the president of PUL was sitting here a few days ago with us. He said the same thing: the misuse of contempt power. Contempt power is there for grievous actions, not things as salaries. Like I said, you could communicate to the minister and say, look, these are the issues. Can you please address them? Even if you take a 2-line, Minister Gaffwan used less than 5 minutes to address the issue of salaries at the Liberian Senate. He would have done that in a reader or even in a text message to the speaker, and he would have then translated to his colleagues and say, look, there's an issue with the bank. That's why we have not getting SYZ or so. Rather, you creating this whole drama, sending the sergeant at arms to go to the ministry and bring the living body of the minister and his deputy. For me, it was not right at all.
You listen to Moses. In 1 minute, I'll come in. You listen to Moses, George, before I can go to, because we have to transition. Moses said what they especially the lower house, it just shows some sort of insensitivity.
That's his opinion.
And you don't agree with him?
And I agree with Mr. Famble, the last aspect about dramatizing. And that's where the whole thing is. Sometimes, we said here the other time, when we're here, when this matter came out, I said this thing, it's just some formality. And sending the sergeant at arms to go arrest the Minister of Finance is just some formality. But, I mean, it's just dramatic. But when it comes to the issue where you say people's salaries not paid, benefits not paid, doesn't constitute contempt, I disagree with a lawyer today. I think he called his senior lawyers to tell him. When they say impede, the word impede in the law will tell you, say, number one, if you do anything that will stop the man from going to and coming from session.
But again,
listen.
Is it intentional?
You said it was violated.
No. Is it being intentional?
Intentional or intentional with the law when it temporarily.
So don't look at the law on the surface. Look at the law from its own meaning.
My brother.
That's it.
My brother, the word impede.
That's why I said
The man he got salary. He got gas to go to West. The function will be impeded. Don't deny that.
Yeah, but there are circumstances that could lead to
I
that.
agree with the circumstances. I agree with the circumstances. But if you say the law doesn't say so, the misusing contempt powers, I will say no here today.
No, that's
not misuse of contempt power. If you don't pay somebody to go to work, that salary that will able to go to work, you don't give him vehicle, nothing to go to work. How will the man go to work? You're not impeding his ability to go to work.
Mr. Kennedy.
We all know what
Don't
happened.
say one speak, Chief. Yeah.
No, yeah, but for
Yeah, Phil, go ahead. Phil, go ahead. This is it.
Mr. Kennedy.
just speak your side.
A single lawmaker's office, a single lawmaker in total salaries and benefit for all of the 17 individuals in a single lawmaker office. They makes around 17,000 in United States data. But you say that is most important.
Is that gross or net? We don't just call money.
No, he's saying the operations
Allow
of
me
the
to let
office.
man talk.
Yes,
When you are talking, I'm not talking between your lines, so I think it's important you allow me to learn my own thought. A single lawmaker office makes around 17,000 United States dollars. At the end of the day, there are civil servants who make far below as 150. Some of them are not taking pay for 2 months, 3 months. Just at the other day, at the Ministry of Finance, the Timber Association people, we saw them protesting for as low as 2 million in total debt on.
Now, let me read there. Let me read there, Mr. Famole. I think the debate here is that, gentlemen. I don't think Moses or Famule or Fode are against the lawmakers summoning or inviting the Minister of Finance, but they are saying there are more issues that are grave, that are more higher than what they invited him for. That their argument, George.
Look, the law provides that while I'm grave, not grave, the law provides.
So
transition.
So my question to Mr. Kennedy, right? With the global issues that we're having with this whole oil issue from the Middle East, what if we go in the next 2 months and there is, God forbid, there's no petroleum product on the Liberian market at all, and those lawmakers are not able to get gas? Would they also summon the minister and the guy from LPRC?
The question is very lazy, but I will answer it.
What make it lazy?
They will summon the Minister of Finance and LPRC still. Let me tell you, they will summon them still to give the status. What is the cost and what can they do to support them fiscally to make fuel to come?
I say, gentlemen,
that's why they will do.
That's the transition. That's the first.
That's why they will do.
That's the first topic so far, and it's taking long. That's the transition. The thing is, nobody's George. Nobody's questioning, and likewise myself, I will not question the lawmakers. The question and decision to summon the Minister of Finance. But the issue is, like all of us saying, there are more issues that are grave. Let's take for instance what was happening recently at the border, or still happening at the border, because in fact the government initially told us on Tuesday or Monday that they've sent a team there. But then, to hear from the government today that they'll be sending a team, in 24 hours, it's shocking. So all those are major issues that, Famule and Fode and Moses will think that the lawmakers should have just invited, maybe the Minister of Defense and all major people, then to, because of gas slips, gentlemen, and salaries delay, to say, okay, we invite the Minister of Finance. But the minister went there finally, and he managed to address their concerns. I'm sure they all are in support now. Gentlemen, let's try to transition quickly. The chair of the National Elections Commission. Yeah, Moses. Moses, your line is still bad.
Can you say the new link? Can you say the new link?
That's the new link he's using. That's the link he's using. Moses, if you want to make any comment,
so let you turn the video off and see if you can use the
audio. See what you can use the audio. Turn the video off.
Turn the video off and see if you can just use the audio.
Now, gentlemen, let's try to proceed. Shockingly,
the audio is the audio that has problem.
Yeah, I think the audio has a problem. Moses, Anything, just call my line and I'll put you through.
Let me call you.
Okay, but we hearing him small now.
But we hearing you, Moses. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Still.
There's a delay.
Moses, just go off and then call. Go off and call. I will take your call. But we're trying to transition, Moses. We've transitioned now. We've already through with that discussion. The Minister of Finance went there and addressed the issues for which he was invited. Gentlemen, today, shockingly, we heard from the chair of the National Elections Commission announcing it seems that Moses still wants to. Let me see what I can hear from him. Moses, we are transitioning now.
Yeah, just give me 30 seconds. Let me say something quickly, my brother.
Okay, quickly.
I just want to say to my brother, George Kennedy, that law is reasoning. And let me take it at the family level. Mr. Kennedy, it is true that your wife's supposed to prepare your meal. And you came from work, and your wife told you that one of your kids, have to be taken to the emergency. You are hungry. Will you start screaming at that woman?
Mr. Sandy, when I go home, my wife will not just tell me. My wife, if I don't see food, I have to ask my wife. That is why that's why the lawmakers did. They didn't get their salaries and benefits, so they asked the Minister of Finance. If I go home, my wife tells me, "Oh, no money, no food today because I carry my children to school. I mean, to hospital." She already explained.
Okay, so gentlemen,
so leave that topic. I mean, the whole thing is, once she tells me, the poor did not know what holding their salaries. The minister told them, and they were convinced. You heard any noise? What better is happening with the explanation?
Okay, so gentlemen, we have to transition.
But I like to face the truth for it. Yeah.
Okay, listening to the Nighttime Heat rated on Prime FM 105.5. We are also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat, and of course, you're going to be live. Tap open here. Oh, man. Tap Nighttime Heat, and of course, you're going to be live on the program. Gentlemen, let's move forward. My new producer is really. Let's move forward. Yeah. It's I don't know. We listen to and I'm on live. Those things that you have to reach them. We heard today the minister of the chair of the National Elections Commission. Yeah. The chair, announced her intention
to resign. Yeah.
To resign by the 15th
of this month.
And like she said, she has already communicated that
to the president.
Now, let's get your take on that.
Well, Madam Director Brown Lassana is one picture that I can see that I think over time she's been able to prove that she stands for truth, and she has most of the courage, even under pressure, to be able to deliver a genuine result. And we all saw that during the just ended elections. And Sabo and everybody here will agree with me that it is rare to see in Africa an incumbent president lose an election on a very low margin, wherein the commission, the chairperson of the commission, stood her ground to say that if this is the result I'm going to announce. I had a friend at the Elections Commission, may peace be to his ashes, Henry Flomo. Yeah, he and I were schoolmates at the law school, may peace be to his ashes. And we're actually on the phone back and forth during the run of elections. And there were some things that he told me. The pressure that lady was under. Some days she would be downstairs in her office, just people coming in and out, giving her all kind of threatening remarks. And she would say to them, that what the Liberian people decide, if it's one vote over, that the person who wins the election. So I think she has served, and she reached to the point where maybe she wants to go into a different thing. And I know she's in, the law school. She's in the Liberian School of Law with Musa Bility and others. So apparently she's trying to now focus more onto that path where maybe she wants to go into the legal field. But I think she's someone with integrity that I've seen over time, and she has actually proven herself based on the 2023 general and presidential elections.
Now, so you think she's resigning as a result of pressure?
I don't think she's under any pressure from anybody, because I think even President Bouaka himself knows exactly what she stands for. And like I said, if that were anywhere around the sub-region in Nigeria or even in Sierra Leone, the incumbent would have still be in power today, because, come on, we all know what happened.
20,000 votes.
Was it 1985 with Jackson Doe and Samuel Kanya Doe? So to see a lady to risk everything and say, look, if this is what the Liberian people voted for, that's what they're going to get. Okay. I think we should give us a flower.
Okay, George, let's hear from you concerning the resignation of Davido Brown Lassana.
Well, I heard that her 7-year tenure will have expired 2027 next year.
No, he's off.
2027 next year.
Yeah, 2027. Okay. So it means that she still has, I know which month, so it means that she still has about 1 year left. And so I think as a professional and ethical person, she didn't want to wait until the expiration of her term reached before she leaves. Probably she didn't want to get into another tension. She says, let me call it a quick sooner and leave with my integrity, and probably trying to face another challenge that even could be more than what she faced in the past. But
so you think she's resigned because of fear or because of pressure?
I'm not aware of her being on. Anyway, what happened the other time when the president took some action there? Mm-hmm. I think he suspended her briefly. I can't remember.
Yes,
she was suspended briefly for some things that happened between she and the staff, some members of the staff. Yeah. And after those things were settled, she was reinstated. Yeah. Probably you see those type of things you want as somebody with the kind of integrity. When you get a time you want to leave, if at all you see such semblance or such trying to emerge internally, probably we don't know, because we have not gone there to adequately investigate. But looking at her integrity from the last election, 2023, I think she's someone with the kind of integrity mindset. I think she came from media background too, right? Mm-hmm. So I used to say, oh man, they come and give them a media sister, difficult times, but she performed. She stood her grounds. Okay. And she put the results that, yes, the results came to the side that I supported, but looking at the margin, 20,000, 21,000, I felt
she would have manipulated something.
Nobody would have manipulated.
Let's go here and hear from Moses. Moses is off. Okay, let's hear from Moses. Moses, what's your take about the video? Okay, let's play the video first. Moses will come to you, but let's. Listening to the next time he hits a record, please bear with me, man. He's a new producer. He's still trying to. He's going through the learning curve. When you listen to the nighttime heat, Rented on Prime FM 105.5. Please share the live video so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also listen to the program and also enjoy the program. Okay, gentlemen, let's Moses. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you, Moses.
Okay, do you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you fine. You are clear.
So you touch something there again, Mr. Sunny. You touch something, so your voice is gone. I thought you started here. No, you gone low and breaking in. Nah, you know, you really love me with internet. Okay, come again. You were sounding good just now. Oh God. Yeah. Mr. Sandy is not true.
Okay, Moses, just call the line. Call the line. Moses, call the line. Let me take you. Moses, let's take it from the end.
Yeah, quickly, so
Yeah.
yeah, this is what I would like to say about the other. First, let me say thank you to the other for the good work you did for Liberia. What I will beg to disagree with is a statement that the decision not to back down that made Mr. Barker to be president today. Let me tell you, given the way in Africa we run things, I want to publicly say that decision emanated from former President George Weah. Having another African president, 20,000 votes, less than 20,000 votes. Look, Mr. Weah decided that, hey, I am president, the other would have gave in. That decision, it was completely out of our range. It was George Manners Weah magnanimity. And look, I will let it go. The man won. I will let it go. Check around the world. Where in the world somebody with less than 20,000 votes and the incumbent will walk away? That was not a choice of Madam Deada. I respect her. She played her role. We applaud her for that. But I will not give her 100% credit for that.
So now, Moses, why do you think she's resigning now? Because she still has an additional time.
Well, you know, there are several things that you can read into this because at one point, like you guys stated, she was in the media for a negative reason. Her inability to coexist with other, commissioners and employees at the NEC. That went public. It's nothing secret. And who knows? There could be other maneuvering. Who knows? It could be a voluntary decision. She said, look, I have played my role. It's time to go in peace. So there could be several reasons. The only thing I can say, she did what she needed to do, and let us applaud her for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's hold it. Fode, let's hear from you.
Thank you. I see this as a political settlement being craftily formulated to part way peacefully for the political benefit of both parties. And here's what I say so. On February 15, 2025, when Madam Lassana was suspended by the president because she dismissed 25 plus workers, which were also accused of corruption. On February 18, 2025, she was brought back in a very short period of time. There were no single investigation. The president only organized a meeting at the mansion. Right after the meeting, when the settlement was done, then she came back to job with this proposal and agreement that she will leave before her tenure expires. This is not the very first time we have seen the president either unlawfully or trying to negotiate with people who have tenure positions. So for us, we are critical of this. This woman was suspended for corruption and unlawful dismissal of people. Since February 15, 2025, this president has never investigated Madam Lassana for the corruption allegation. So now you're telling me, just forget about the whole corruption, just come and resign. And if you know, we are critical. So we are asking the question, is this a political settlement leave before your regular tenure and will not prosecute you. No, you cannot negotiate National Election Commission because we are aware this president has chased people in tenure position. As I speak to you now, the national and the former national director for AMFIL, Dr. Chris Dubona, who are unlawfully dismissed for intending position. The Supreme Court have asked that he goes back to the job. The president said no, they can't pay him out. So my point is, Madam Lassana was suspended by President Bouaké for corruption and unlawful dismissal. Those people went back to work. So why did the president refuse to investigate Madam Lassana for corruption? And she's now working out before her legal tenure. What is this? We see a political negotiation here.
So the question is, Mr. Masako, we don't want to go off tangent. The question is, we are asking what could be responsible for which she wants to quit by the 15th of this month.
And like
is it an objection or what's happening?
And like I said, I see this as a political negotiation where both parties benefit because this woman should be honored.
How come a political negotiation between Madam Lassana and the government?
Exactly. If you resign before your regular tenure, we will not prosecute you. You work free.
Okay, let's wait there. And then you think that could be the cause for Madam Lassana wanting to resign?
No, I don't believe it. You see, the National Elections Commission is one of the institutions created by the Liberian Constitution. Based on that, she has a genuine tenure, right? Mm-hmm. So she could have opted to stay there up until 2027. And even if she has any negotiation behind the scene with the president, she could have stayed there up until 2027. And this is what a lot of people don't know. My late mother works on the Elections Commission too as well. Now, commissioners at the Elections Commission are not outrightly appointed by the president. There's a process of recruitment by the civil society organizations, and the names are submitted to the president to pick among those names that are submitted. So it is seen that not to be wholly and solely the president's decisions to appoint Edwin Fambule, maybe from one political party to go and serve as chairman. No, that's why it goes into the hands of the civil society organizations. So if you accuse the president of being corrupt, that's allegations, that's not facts. So if you say, okay, then wait until after her tenure and then we find the evidence, that makes no sense to me now. Back to Moses' questions. The reason why we giving Madam Lassana the pat on the back, because Sobo, you were right here. Madam Lassana she could have chosen to give that 20,000 plus vote to Ambassador George Weah, to former President George Weah, and not President Bouaké, because the margin was very narrow. She could have changed that number around, and nobody would have known. Nobody would have known. The mere fact that she stood her ground and say, I'm going to announce, even if it's 2 votes over this.
What Moses is saying, that decision came from the former president. Because the former president could have called one and said, look, manipulate that process.
No,
because as
there were reports made to her. There were people who went to her office. There were ministers who were pressurizing her to make sure that the results be in her favor. And she stood her ground. She said, no. I just said that I have somebody in-house. In fact, the last day before they called the final results, the results should have been called by 4 o'clock. It delayed up until 5 o'clock. Do you know why? Because there were negotiations taking place in the hall.
People were asking her
to change the number, and she stood her ground.
Okay, let's go.
In fact, when some of her colleagues agreed, said no, but this is not to be. We can do it. She left them sitting in the hall, and she took her bed and said, "I'm going to announce."
Reportedly, because we're not there. Reportedly.
Okay, let's hear. I don't like to take flowers from someone who the flowers belong to.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Former President Weah accepted the results. With 20,000, he will have stayed declared. He's not moving. right? He's not moving. I will have the intention.
The African president.
Democracy. But who that credit goes to is the chair of NEC. She had the courage. In fact, we heard a lot of things. Her relationship with Von President, we are a lot of things. A lot of negative things about her. You know, she made me proud. I felt that, you know, it's good to be a journalist.
But let me hold you.
Wait, just before Sunday, I want to clarify certain thing. Actually, the votes difference, the presidential runoff votes difference, was 20,567 votes. It was not less than 20,000. It was 20,567 votes. Still on that website. That's why I pulled it off from just now and did the calculation. Anybody can go there. It's not less than 20,000.
Do you agree with Mr. Foley Massaquoi that he believes that apparently she's quitting because of some negotiation between she and
maybe he's a mind reader. Maybe whatever happened, because I would see a lot of people now can read people's minds, you know. They will tell you this is why, this is your intent, or this is what's in this. Until we can see, we are journalists here. Until we can get reason to believe that, we're not going to expect that Mr. Massaquoi is a politician. So he will speak politically. From the way he's been speaking tonight, I know he came with, and the place for everyone that got the same mindset. You bring out when they raise you on the way, debate the same way.
Okay, now, gentlemen, let's talk about.
You want to try Moses again because he's
are you back on the? Let's hear from you.
Yeah, can you hear me, someone?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
There you go. You're going again.
You can start and you go.
Just
call.
Not good. There you go. What happened to that, people?
Also, you call and then you call my phone and I'll put you on. You're listening to the nighttime heat rented on Prime FM 105.5. Now, but gentlemen, let's try. Okay, Moses is trying to call back. Let's hear from you quickly, and then we'll talk about the second dimension of this whole topic. Moses, let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah, let me just say this. I heard Mr. Famulus speak as if to say he was sitting inside the chair.
I saw you say reportedly.
I had somebody inside who was giving me the information. I was not there. Somebody was in that room.
She told her colleagues that she was leaving. That's speculation.
Yeah, speculation.
Yes, the information of Mr. Famulus that you pass on, it is unverifiable.
Okay, well, you say your own.
What we rely on is that a result emanated from the Elections Commission. And let's be honest here. In theory, we can say the Election Commission is independent. But do you know what it means to be president? That woman reports to the president. Everything that was happening in our country, our job, we are being a tyrant. By now, Mr. Weah would have been president. I am being human, and let's be human. George Weah made our choice. He said, "No, you're giving it to the man. He won." It was not the error. It was beyond the scope of work, that decision. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Moses, thank you. And I think I want to agree with Moses in totality. Like we all know African president, African leaders. We've been seeing it and we heard it and we know what happened. In fact, even in our own country, that's our history also recorded something of that nature. Gentlemen, if former President Weah had decided to retain state power, he would have done so. He would have done so.
But he would have done
I'm coming 1 minute. Yeah, we agreed. He would have done it through the Elections Commission.
That's
So
what
what it would have caused them to have manipulated Madam Director Brown Lassana and said, "Look, announce the results in our favor."
They did try.
Let's try to transition.
They did try.
Let's transition. Gentlemen, the second part to it, we see on social media the name Gloria Musu Scout trending as a successor of Diviato Brown Lassana. Let me begin with you, Moses. Moses is not on, right? He has to call before he can talk. Let me begin with you, Fode. Okay, Fode, let me begin with you. Do you think Councillor Gloria?
Moses is
Moses
on.
Okay, Moses. Okay, you are on. Okay, you're still on my line. You're still on my line. Let me begin with you, Moses. Do you think Councillor Gloria Moses card, because that's the name we see trending on social media, is a good pick for the job at the National Elections Commission? Let's hear from you.
The Councillor Gloria Moses-Scott is qualified for the position. She has the integrity, she has the legal training to occupy that position. However, this is the political optics that the government must be mindful of. This woman is the legal counselor for the Unity Party. If you don't want to be seen as compromised, Gloria Moses-Scott will not be the person to be a successor for Madam Gail Brown-Lasana. If you want to be seen as what? Honest, not compromised, bring in a neutral person like Gail Brown-Lasana.
Moses, 1 minute. Moses, 1 minute. We haven't lost in the back. Moses, 1 minute. I wonder if for the massacre. If the noise coming from you, can't find a way to hold that. Okay. All right. Let's hear from you, Moses. You are in speech.
So what I was saying is that Councillor Gloria Moses-Scott is highly qualified for the position. She can do the job. But politically, the optics will not be good because what? She is the legal counselor for the Unity Party. It's public record. If she becomes chair of the Elections Commission, she will not be seen as neutral. If any election comes tomorrow, Unity Party wins, they will say, well, Unity Party won because what? The chair of the commission is a member of the Unity Party, is the legal counselor for the Unity Party. In order to be seen as independent, honest, I think the president should appoint someone else, but not a counselor.
So, let's go there. For Mr. Masako, what's your take?
It does not matter whoever, because you see, you must understand the basis of the conversation with this. It is in the purview of the president to select one of the 3 names that will be submitted to him by the civil society and electoral commission. So this is not in our purview. The president will decide that. But here's what I want to say. It does not matter whoever will be elected or selected or appointed as election commissioner. It doesn't matter for us in the CDC because you know what? The elections result will only be announced on the basis of the suffering. With the kind of sodomy in the country, with the magnitude of rape, the history of death, the consistent violation, the hunger, the pain, the failure of the Unity Party. If you like it, you can even go for President Boake's brother or son or whoever as election commissioner. The result of the Liberian people will not be terminated by anyone. Anything in this country. We were in this country here. Somebody won with 20,500 votes. We agree. I want to assure you, with the failure, the massive failure of the Unity Party, with the massive demolition of people's homes, with the unemployment in the country, with the instability, the government inability to protect our border, the Liberian people is going to be like it, make anybody election commission. It doesn't matter. The only thing
Moses is contending that making or appointing Councillor Gloria Moses-Scott as the successor to David Brown-Lasana, it could appear as trying to weaponize the National Elections Commission against political parties like you and others. Do you agree with that?
I might agree with him, but here's what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
In a democracy, the presidency is not the personal property of anyone. You are elected president based on the Liberian people voting you and showing that this man is the man we want to lead. So I want to see this on the record. The Liberian people will decide who becomes their president in 2029. It will be the basis of the vote. No single individual, no man born upon a woman. When President Boakai Legend even appoint his wife, his son, anybody, the election result in 2029 will reflect the genuine vote of the Liberian people. Nobody will not see election here.
Okay, let's go there. Edwin.
So fully just contradicted.
No, I'll come in, Edwin. First, let's hear from you. What do you think about it? Do you think that Councillor Gloria Musu's could be a very good pick, a good successor?
Well, I will start with my earlier comment that Fode has just contradicted you and Moses, that it is what the Elections Commission says and what the Liberian people decide, because you guys were saying that President William wanted to stay in power, and we are saying that it was Deviator Brian Lassana who took that choice to say, if it is one vote over this person, I'm going to announce it. So that argument has already been laid down by somebody from the CDC. Now, to the point, Councillor Gloria Musu's card is one of the most qualified Liberian, I can say. She served as Chief Justice of this country. She served as a senator of this country. And today she has been into different roles or so. However, between me and you, I don't think she even won that job. I will say this for a specific reason, because she's my former professor. And many times she keeps telling us, she said, I'm tired. I'm 70 years old. We open the road now for you young people. I don't think she won that job, because the job of the chairman of the Elections Commission, it comes with a lot of work and pressure, immediately during elections time. So all of these things you hear people saying on Facebook or so, that is just people perspective. But like what my brother Fode said, this process is not a president waking up and say, I want Joyce Kennedy to be Elections Commission chairman. It's a process where names will be submitted by civil society organizations to say we want. Okay, so we send in Joyce Kennedy, Fambule, and Sobo name to the president. On that list, the president has 3 options, and there are criteria set for the selections of those names.
Well, Ray, I'm coming.
That it should not be political party. I'm coming.
Okay.
That it should have no affiliation with political parties in the country, and that's how come Madam Director Brown Lassana even came up as a neutral person. So to think that this lady who has already been identified as being a member of the Unity Party, that even her name will appear on that list, the people don't know the process of selecting people.
Okay, let's hear from you, George.
The commission.
The election reform law of Liberia, I may not quote the Asai session, it's very clear that if anyone is nominated by the president to go to that commission to serve, and they happen to be a member of any political party, you have to resign. You have to resign. The frameworks of this law knew very well that no matter
you have to resign from where?
From the party.
So with that law, it's good that you brought it up. It's good that you brought it up.
Yeah.
So with that law, Councillor Gloria Musu's card.
That's where I wanted to go.
Thank you.
Right where I was going.
Right.
And I will give you an example. All right. So the frameworks of that law we're looking at, almost every professional person you see in the country is almost
they have some link.
Link.
Got some link. Some political link.
Yeah, some kind of link. Either they are member or they are associate members or sympathizers or whatever. So they say before you do that, all your sympathy link, all your association link, all your membership link, you should resign. James Kokoya. Jerome Kokoya. Jerome Kokoya ran on the Unity Party ticket in 2005 in Bon County. He didn't win. He became chairman of the Election Commission at the time, and I said, if nominated him, he became chairman of the national. I think the one that was it 2011?
2017.
2017?
Yeah.
Whatever, yes. So he resigned. There are other people I may not know everyone, and they resigned. based on this, and looking at the integrity of the former chairman of the Law Reform Commission, Councillor Gloria Scott,
Former Chief Justice, right?
former Chief Justice, chairman of the National Law Reform Commission, former Chief Justice,
Former senator.
former senator. I think she already like to serve by election commission. So I don't know. I'm trying to track that record, right? When it comes to her competence, not forget about qualification alone.
She has.
When it comes to competence, I want to speak to the core issue competence she has. She's a legal luminary. Look,
So do you say she could be a good pick for the National Elections Commission?
excellent pick. It's always very good for someone who got legal background to hear such. Currently, the current chair of the commission is not a lawyer, but we all knew her affiliation with the former president. I told you, people thought that she was going to give everything to the former president. She stood her ground. People trying to take the glory for her. We say no. It's about integrity. When the Labron votes, Mr. Fambule, Mr. Matagoye, if the Labron vote, they say they want this person. You can't change that number.
So in another word, you are saying to us, George, that despite she's a member of the ruling Unity Party, she can still be appointed as the National Elections Commission chair, but she will be asked to resign from the party.
She will not be asked to just before she hold that, she will resign. The law says.
Depending if she's nominated.
As far as she's nominated, she will resign.
So even if she resigns, and this is where I'm coming at, even if she resigns, will she not still push the interest of the party during elections?
That's why you get commissioners, board of commissioners.
She could manipulate them. She could manipulate them.
Why they all manipulate them?
Everyone is saying, let me ask Moses. Moses, you raised the issue that Councillor Gloria Moses Scott is a member of the ruling Unity Party. As such, she cannot be a good pick. But your calling has just come to counter that by saying no, she could be a good pick. If she resigns from post and appointed, she could still serve in that position and possibly against the interests of the Unity Party.
So Unity Party may control the election.
So most of what you stand on that?
Yeah, no, I only be speaking to resign, and it becomes a chair of the commission. People will say something crazy. What she does, what else if it's on? And it will be right. It will be right. This is where the other
Moses, just call me. Moses, call me. Call me. Why are you trying to call?
I wanted him to get there. James Kokoya was a commission chair 2017, right? I told you he contested on the Unity Party ticket in Ponkante. So why did he get an election result to the Unity Party 2017?
Okay, Moses is back on the line.
So Mr. Sunday, please look at that. The thinking will be there, but is it real?
So you ready now, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what I was saying here is that the head of Brown Lansana stands out because she had no brazen political lineage with any political party in our country. So people will celebrate her. But if you have a Gloria Scott, the woman who represented the legal interests of Unity Party, yes, in theory she will resign. But don't forget now, she's an human being. That Lenny will still be there. She will still be seen for that praise. No matter how objective she does, people will still say, but what you expect? The woman a UP woman. The woman a UP woman. And that can create entirely problem for the commission. So I think it's just better for the president to look outside and bring someone with absolute neutrality.
So
that would be my advice.
Okay, just hold it 1 minute.
So for me, I look at the word neutrality from the real context that it wouldn't refer to the child who does not know the difference between wrong and right. So no human being can be neutral in a given situation.
So you're saying Juliette Brown was not neutral?
She was never neutral.
Did she have any political?
She has a serious link with the former president. Everyone else knew in this country, but she stood up and protected her integrity. James Kokoya, for example, I just told Mr. Sunday, Jerome Kokoya, right? Forgive me, oh God, forgive me, but Jerome Kokoya ran on the Unity Party ticket in Bon County, 2005. He was defeated. Manasari appointed the election commission chair. He was chair of the commission when Unity Party lose the election in 2017.
No, but that law is actually clear. Section
So
2.5 of election law is clear.
Where was he to change election results?
Yeah.
Why didn't he say that for the United Party, so I must make sure that I agree with Mr. Masakwe 100%.
Yeah.
You can't change that result over there.
And George is clear.
So
Section
Moses,
2.5.
one minute, let me know. Moses,
You got it right?
Yeah.
Moses, do you agree with that?
Look, I beg to disagree. It is true that he made reference to other former chairmen who came from the Unity Party or other political groups. But I always say, for the fact that it happened in the past, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to do it now.
No, but you have to change the law because the law is clear. The law is very clear.
One minute, civil speech.
You want an election commission that will win the interest, the support of the international community. You don't want a chairman that people will say, oh, well, you know what? This person has the backing of this group. There are too many qualified Liberians over there that can do the job. Even our brother family, we're sitting right there in that studio. You don't necessarily need extra, or legal experience to do this. All it takes is leadership. The other day was radio announcer. If you did it, someone George can do it. George Kennedy can do it. Edwin family can do it. Moses said he can be your chair. Mr. Ford said he was the end of us here. We are qualified to do that job. So let's not make this.
So Moses, your argument is that because Councillor Gloria Musu's card is politically connected to the Unity Party, she can be the good pick.
No, the optics will not be good.
Okay, so all right, let's go there. Let's go there.
So slow up.
No, let me go to Mr. Masakwe. Mr. Masakwe, let's hear from you on this. We'll have to transition quickly.
I want to say this again. You're very clear on a big question. It is in the purview of the president. At the end of the day, the entire ball game boils down to the president to decide one of the three persons that he will appoint as election commissioner. I see Mr. Kennedy want to sell an unsellable commodity of integrity. You cannot mention. If you say education, I give that to Madam Scott. But if it's integrity, this is a woman who was prosecuted, jailed in this country for killing her own son, daughter, Child Musu.
No, you can't say that. The law vindicated her at the end of the day. She was the Supreme Court.
So you see,
that's a final arbiter.
Mr. Masakwe, you mute.
Hello, you getting me?
Yeah.
So
you were correct a few minutes ago that you can't say that because Councillor's card was paraded before court, and at the end of the day, she was vindicated.
She appealed to the Supreme Court.
Yep.
So
the law vindicated all.
So there are still arguments. The Supreme Court, there can be review when new evidence is available. People can go for refine the case.
But you learn that one from my brother. I just got it from law school. I never heard that one before.
No.
No, I would not be able for you to say that. I would not be able for you to say that.
I will not be able to say that.
All right, then you're not doing me justice now.
The Supreme Court is another arbiter of justice. Would not allow you to mislead the public on this kind of issue. There will be no retrial of that matter anymore in Liberian history.
I know you want to defend your Unity Party, Mr.
They're not defending.
No.
We will not also allow you. You can't use this video while we are here. for you
Judge Akabi.
to trade falsehood on the air.
First of all, even at the level of the lower court, right? Once the lower court passes a judgment on a matter,
You guys are not doing well.
you cannot bring that matter back to court. Under our law, it's called double jeopardy. You can't do that. So a matter cannot go before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court decide on it, and you want us to believe that you can find new evidence, bring that case to court. Maybe that in Utopia, but that can never happen in Liberia.
Let allow him to get transition. Go ahead.
You see, Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Samuel, it is your constitutional and fundamental political right. You can defend your unity party for all you want, but I think you must do due diligence and respect my time to talk. And when I cannot be talking, you are talking between my lines.
Please, just go ahead. You got a transition.
On my point, you cannot mention Madam Scott and integrity in the same sentence. You people want to sit here and want to use law to justify that this is a woman who was found guilty yesterday for crime, and because her unity party, this woman was the legal counsel of Unity Party. The Unity Party came to power. Unity Party free her. Their arguments. Up to today, the killers of her daughter have not been identified. That is heartlessness. You have a mother who a child lived with her for years, but this child was murdered.
Let's wait there.
Yeah.
Let's wait there. You spoke on your mind. Yes, Edwin.
Yeah,
So
you see, these are trivial issues, and when people don't understand the way the system works, that's how they play around these things or so. First of all, my brother, the court is independent, and you need to learn that today. The Supreme Court is independent. So when a matter is adjudicated, hey, bossman, please, you the ones here who are talking between your lines. When a matter goes to the court, bossman, please, you can argue that with Senator Corner, please. You can argue that with Senator Corner, please. When a matter goes to the court and an appeal goes to the Supreme Court look at the merits in the case and decide on the law. They don't decide based on party sentiment. They don't decide based on whatever evidence that the state presented at that time did not find Madam Scott and the people guilty. That matter has been settled, is gone with.
Okay.
But what are we saying about this whole issue? Look, there is no doubt about her integrity. There is no doubt about her competence. But like Kennedy said, Section 2.5 of the Elections Law is clear that once you are appointed, you have to disassociate with all political parties' activities. Because, and the reason for that, for the framework of that law is because at a point in time, we all some way, somehow have some affiliations or sympathy towards a certain group of people. But however, when you are going to the commission, you don't have to show it. Your work there should be neutral. And this whole thing that people think that only one person at that place there who makes the determination as to who become president, no, that's not true. That's why you have foreign observers in the process. You have international partners. You have board of commissioners that satisfy results before it is announced. The only work the chairperson do there is to come on the microphone and announce that result.
Okay,
that's what satisfied by all of them.
Let's go there.
So another information I want to provide to my brother Masakwe.
Yeah, quickly.
The reason why Madam Scott was in jail, maybe you feel that because she was in jail, so she was a criminal, because she was charged with first-degree felony murder. So murder case, you will be in jail until the final adjudication of that matter. Even when she appeals, she will stay in prison until she won her appeal. Please, we beg you, yeah?
You listen to the Nighttime Heat, right on the Prom FM 105.5. Share the live video. We still have a few topics to cover tonight. Let's try to play. You know, the case involving former finance minister Samuel Twain and others today got into full swing. We understand that the jurors were being selected today. I think out of seven of the jurors, about 6 or something, again were selected. But right after the legal exercise, the court proceedings today, the lead counsel of the lead defense counsel came out and first took a swap at the Solicitor General for statement made that Twell and others have already admitted to the crime. So let's listen to him, and then later on we can listen to the video from the SG.
Yeah, look, let me make something very quick and clear. The last time the Solicitor General came here and told you people that the defendants in this case have confessed to the crime, that is a lie. It's not true. No one confessed to a crime. There is a difference between confession to criminality, and making a point. Confession to the crime means the man is admitting to the crimes in the indictment that is not the case. What happened in this case is that there is a statutory function, or there were statutory functions that were carried out by the former Minister of Finance. That is under section 14.2 of the Public Finance Law. The law says that the Minister of Finance has the authority, statutory authority, to authorize payments that have been recommended by any of the branches of government within the budget, or authorized within the budgetary laws of Liberia. And that is exactly what the Minister of Finance have done. And that payment was made to the appropriate administrative agency that was authorized at the level of the National Security Council by the President of Liberia at the time. Yeah. And so on the basis of this, no one should criminalize when they Solicitor General comes out and says that was confession. That's not confession. Confession is all of the allegations that have been made. Yes, we agree, we the one committed. No, there was no crime here. There was a statutory function that was carried out, and it had been criminalized. So we want to make that clear. If the Solicitor General agrees with what he said the last time, that the defendants are confessed to the crime, then why are we selecting jurors? So that is to tell you that what the Justice Minister was intending to do at the time, we call a trial by TV and trial by Facebook. The perception is to get the perception of the sentiments of potential jurors who will be coming to come with the cloud of the mind to say that if you the people are confessed to crime. There is no confession to crime. If there was confession to crime, we will not select jurors. Today, there will be a date of sentencing. So that's not true. There was no criminality, and we still want to reiterate that the action of these defendants was a national security action. The actions of the defendants were national security actions and responsibilities that were carried out. Those actions that were carried out were statutory functions that were responsible to keep the stability of this country during the period of the election. The peace we enjoy today was based on the statutory expression of the mandate of the Finance Minister being authorized by the National Security Council, which exists within the office of the President. Thank you. That's the character we wanted to make.
All right, so gentlemen, that's the lead. And the video quickly. That's the lead defense counsel for Samuel Twell and the rest of them. Councillor Arthur Johnson trying to counter what the SG said the other day. Let's try to listen to the SG, the Solicitor General, quickly. Let's try, but I send it to him. He should have it. But gentlemen, let's hear from you from the air.
First of all, there was no need for such a press conference. Under the law, once the matter is before the court, is sub judice. Meaning that the matter is now to be decided by the court. So therefore, you cannot speak to the nature, or you cannot go into the case itself. Or the thing he was trying to explain there, I have a lot of respect for Councillor Arthur Johnson. All I think he was trying to explain there, about, the authority given to them by the Security Council and so on. Even he himself, what he's trying to do now is also to plow the mouth of the jurors, because what you're supposed to be arguing in court is what you're saying on the media. So you also running the same Facebook or whatever that you call it in the press. If the Solicitor General have made such a statement, it is now your duty to take it to the courtroom and defeat that argument before the jurors. But when you come outside and start to discuss the issue, then the same thing that you're trying to accuse the Solicitor General of doing, trying to, buy sentiment, that's the same thing like trying to do. But they have to be very careful, because the person at that court right now, the judge sitting, Judge Fekai, is a very experienced and fearless judge. In fact, he's a resident judge of Grand Cape Breton County. But what they do, they actually rotate the circuit, so at this time he's now, in Monrovia, sitting at one of the criminal assassees. The reason for that is that most of the counties, the circuit court are not that busy as it is in Monrovia. The dockets are not that loaded, so sometimes they bring them around. They will move them to the basic area so that they sit on these cases. But all of these things that they are talking, they have to be very, very careful, because the court itself always charge the judges of the court to actually be cognizant of what is happening around them. They listen to all of these things, and sometimes the lawyer themselves can fall into trouble, because the court always tell the judge to take judicial notice of what is happening around them. So sometimes you have to be very careful. That's why when you listen to the Solicitor General, he made a statement that he was trained that when matter is before the court, he doesn't discuss it.
Okay, let me hold you there. Judge, you listen to the Councillor Arthur Johnson.
But the councillor, I'm not a lawyer. He's mine. We all from high school, Matilla Newport, you're my senior. We all left when then went to EMU Zion. You went ahead of me. We all passed through the same walls almost. When we didn't go. We went to Coddington on the other side, right? So, but I'm not a lawyer, but he admitted to the crime again tonight. To me, when I listen to him, he's telling us that yes, the people did it, but they did it in national security interest. The Supreme Court told you, say no. The National Security Council that was sitting, where was their budget? Where was it? They deny you. You came back again tonight. You say you're speaking to the solicitor, you reacted to it. Then you went back and said the action in section 14.1, that's what they did. So for me, no, there was no need for this press conference. And when I listened to Councillor Fire, he was very clear. He said, "Oh, we don't want to preach it." I said, but in their lead defendants' own submission to the court, and they think that they did it, yes, but they did it in national security interest, and the Supreme Court slammed that already. So where are we going?
Okay, so let's hear from you, Mr. Masukwa. What's your take on this?
Councillor Fire is the most, if not one, but one of, but I believe in my mind, the most incompetent Solicitor General we have ever had. You see, it's not funny, is it? CDC. They are trying to find a case that does not exist. Initially, he said, you talk, go to jail. In his press conference, somebody talking say the sub-judiciary, so it's Councillor Actor who should not be talking about it, but the SG can talk, and he appreciates that the SG deliver well. That is a contradiction. The law is blind. It might be applied to all sides. So we live in a country where people go for mediocrities and propaganda. People want to be convinced. Good people are being found guilty before you even go to court. Then the Solicitor General will go and lie that, and the people already agree to the crime. Where is the crime here? Let me just say this. A single crime does not exist here. But the first contradiction starts with the Supreme Court. Initially, when the appeal was filed at the Supreme Court, stating very well that this particular case should be tried. On what basis? Samuel Twa and order were very clear. He said, I acted on the instruction of the National Security Council. That is fact. If you look at Section 7A of the National Security Reform and Intelligence Act 2011, it calls for secrecy of the office of those who serve on the National Security Council. This since Supreme Court said, oh la la, a finance minister on Supreme Court. The Supreme Court reversed that particular ruling, admitting to the error that indeed the finance minister served on the National Security Council. Today, we saw Gafan at the Senate admitting that when you are finance minister, you do serve on the National Security Council. So, fellow Liberians, you hear the contradiction? The Supreme Court said when you finance minister, you're not part of National Security Council. They went back, they identified the error, they realized that they lied because they wanted to manipulate the law to do everything possible that Samuel Tuer should be guilty. Now, well, let us agree that a crime was committed. What is the crime? It is the statutory and ministerial responsibility of any finance minister to disburse funds. Samuel Tuer didn't take money and put it in pocket. Samuel Tuer disbursed money to people at the Financial and Intelligence Agency.
Okay. All right. So that's what we did. That's what you made your submission. That's what we did. Moses, you can come in quickly. Let's hear from you.
Are we still having the same?
Just call Moses.
Please call.
Call direct. I will take you. Just call my line quickly. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat, directed on Prime FM 105.5. We are also streaming live on Prime FM Monrovia 105.5, and streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Moses, let's hear from you on this one. Let's hear from you.
Okay, so quickly, this is what I would like to say. First, let me start with Mr. Mahasekwe. There's no law that prohibits the Minister of Finance from being on the National Security Commission or being a part of the committee that discuss national security. There's no law that says that. Mr. Famula sitting over there, he is a legal luminary. I don't think we have such law. And when you listen to Mr. Gafan, he said, look, we have crisis in the country and we're discussing that. It's the same right that Samuel Tuer enjoyed when he was Minister of Finance. This is the contention. The former Minister Tuer is seeking immunity. He said he acted based on directive from the president. As a result, he enjoys the same immunity. And the court is saying, no, you don't. That immunity is only for the president. I am not a lawyer, but that is the contention. Now, a quick clarification that I would like to provide. Mr. Kennedy, when Councilor Arthur Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Councilor Arthur Johnson, he did not admit to guilt. He didn't say that Samuel Tuer admitted to guilt. The clarification that he was providing is that, look, Samuel Tuer said that, look, whatever that he did falls within the scope of Article 14 of the
Section 14.
Financial Management Law.
Yeah.
The Financial Management Law, which gives the Minister of Finance that authority to make disbursement. And he said that is what the former minister did. So I just wanted to provide this clarification.
Okay.
He did not admit to guilt, and Samuel Tuer did not admit to guilt. Samuel Tuer is, he said, seeking what? Immunity. He said he acted based on presidential directive.
Okay, let's wait there, Moses.
So
I think
to me. So I think
Evan can come in.
I think Moses, you have actually followed this case very keenly, and I'm disappointed that my brother Fode did not even follow the case at the Supreme Court, because the argument there was not whether he sits on the Security Council or not. The argument was that they went before the Supreme Court claiming presidential immunity, and the Supreme Court in her ruling was clear. I went to the court, I followed the argument between the two parties, the petitioner and the respondent. The argument was that a minister who has a statutory function does not enjoy presidential immunity. The immunity is only for the president for acts that he or she does while serving as president, that is clearly laid down in the Constitution. So therefore, Minister Tue and others cannot benefit for said immunity because they were asking for the matter to be quashed, that they are covered under presidential immunity. So please, like we keep saying, don't come to the argument with sentiment. If you follow the matter before the court, that was the key argument that Arthur Johnson and others put down, that these people were acting on the instruction of the president, therefore they are covered under presidential immunity. And we have a lot of decided cases, precedent cases, that have clearly said that if you are a minister performing a statutory function, you are not covered under any immunity for any acts done by you, given to you by the statute. So therefore, you being on the Security Council is a statutory function given to you. Whatever decision that you take, you have full cognizance and you take full responsibility of that the decision.
So the reason why I said what I said, Mr. Sandy, is
wrong.
No, 1 minute, 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute, Mr. Masuka, 1 minute. Let's hear from
it.
I sent you the document. I sent you the document, Mr. Saba. I sent you the document of the court's ruling. Mr. Famura is wrong.
So which court ruling that? So
no, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Other people will so
let's
so the argument.
I sent the Supreme Court ruling, Mr. George. You can catch it.
Yeah, please. Let's hear from George first. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I think the Supreme Court ruling.
The councillor admitted that the money was spent in that his interview just now. First, they went for immunity. Now he said he called in a statute section 14. All right. So the immunity is cancelled. The first thing is wondering why the particular money was spent. Now it's proving that it was spent. All right. Who authorized it? Who authorized it? That's the case, and that's where. Because when they said who authorized it, that's where they were going to claim presidential immunity. You have the right to look. As a foreign minister, you are there to spend, but not just to spend, not to spend beyond the laws of the state. When you spend beyond the laws of the state, you will be prosecuted for it, and that's why the case is, Mr. Sandy. Okay. That's why I said the fact that they say they spend the money. That's admission.
Okay. Before we go further, let's listen to the tape. We'll come to you. We'll come to you, Mr. Let's listen to the tape, the interview conducted today with the Solicitor General.
You're putting there on me? Why are you not putting on harder that moment?
Because we are close ones. Welcome to the Media Council of Fire.
Thank you so much.
We saw both prosecution and defense team leaving the court just a few seconds ago, and Councillor Arthur Johnson did meet the media and accused you in particular about telling the public that indeed his client did confess to the crime.
Well, if there is any difference, you always see it. But I think there is nothing different will be from what I told you before. What I told you before is the real statement, is a statement of fact. Besides the crime, he himself stood where he stood just now and said but he was under the national security. He, Arthur Johnson, said that.
He described your statement as a blatant lie.
Well, if it's a lie, then you'll review his statement. He made the first interview. The interview was made right in front of the court there. That yeah, the people took the money, they used the money, but they used it for national security. And it was never used for national security. We maintain that money was never used for national security. They took the money, they stole the money in LA. They stole the money in LA. So that's not a national security issue. We know national security. We've been working with the government for long. If the money is used for national security, there are rules governing the usage of money for national security. One person can't go anywhere and take the money and say you use it for national security. What is national security? The money they use in their homes, national security money? No, it's not national security. They never use it for national security. There was election season. Election Commission had budget for national security. They have budget for security, covering the entire security, the immigration, the police, and all of those people assigned there. That budget is captured. How can you use a state cover and you have depleted the state cover, you say you use it for national security? It's not national security. But I don't have the issue of talking about the matter normally that before the court, because when the matter is in court, the court will decide. And the judge that will be for, a no nonsense judge. If you discuss the merit of the case, he claim on you. What I will tell you people is that we have selected 9 jurors today. We need only 6 more for all to commence producing the evidence. And we will tell you people, we have a very good side. We are good side.
SG, why you think the defense continue to fight despite the Supreme Court and the recent opinion when they filed a petition for a prohibition to prevent the prosecutions? Why do they continue to fight when the Supreme Court said that at 61 they are not called by that?
Well, I think either they did not read the Supreme Court opinion properly, or if they read the Supreme Court opinion, then they did not digest it properly. If they digested the Supreme Court opinion, then they would not be arguing what they arguing. I read the Supreme Court opinion, I understood it well. And I think there is nothing you can add to it, nothing you can subtract to it. That is the highest court of the land. It has spoken.
Okay, so let's hear you, Mr. Masekwe. You were about to speak. You just listened to the Solicitor General so emphasizing and maintaining that what the client said or their lawyer said, that was a total admission to the crime. Let's hear from you.
The first thing that I said very clearly is we must define what is a crime. What is the crime being committed here? You have the SG who, in his wildest imagination, they took the money, they eat the money. And you call this man the Solicitor General of the country? You just work out of the book. What are your evidence to prove that they took the money and eat the money? Making wild wind of allegation with no evidence. But you call this man the Solicitor General. I'm telling you, a single crime was not committed here. And like I said, Mr. Famure lied to the audience, and he must apologize. The Supreme Court passed 2 different rulings in the particular appeal that were taken. They made mistake at the first time. The mistake was disgraceful. It was an utter shame. That the Supreme Court said when you find out Minister, you're not on Security Council. Don't stop making a feel that Mr. Famule.
What about the ruling?
So people like Josh, I sent you the second reading. The second reading was issued on February. I sent you the second reading, and I want you to read the adjourn of that ruling.
Okay, let's hold it there.
So let me answer him. You see, that's what. No, Chief. No, but they just stop you, Chief. That's why. General say, Bossman, wait, Chief, wait. Let me correct you. Wait. No. Let me correct you because
I will come back to you.
Chief. No. Chief, when you read a legal instrument, you don't have the understanding of how a legal instrument is made. So let me explain to you. All right? Yeah, you cannot go through that. The appeal was taken to a chamber justice. Will you please wait?
Massacre 1 minute.
The appeal was taken to a chamber justice, right? Now, Bossman, please listen.
I will come back to you 1 minute.
There's not CDC. No, but the
Mr. Massacre, I will come back to you. Mr. Massacre, I'll come back to you 1 minute. Okay, Len. I'll give you a few seconds, Len.
I was making a statement, and I said, Mr. Famune lied. And I sent you the evidence. You have it in your phone. It is important for you to show or prove whether I'm lying or not. The Supreme Court erred in your first reading by lying and deceiving the Liberian people that when you are finance minister, you are not on the National Security Council. The Supreme Court lied, and the Supreme Court reversed that decision. I'm telling you that Mr. Famune lied.
Let me educate Hold your peace. You need education, right?
No, I don't need education from you.
I took 3 years in law school. Listen to me, please. Don't argue. I took 3 years in law school to learn how to interpret those instruments. Listen now, Foley. You will learn. Listen. Listen, Chief.
You will not be rude. I'm equal partners on the show.
Mr. Massacre,
this is what the problem we have in our country.
Mr. Massacre.
Fode, you will learn.
I don't want to meet a microphone.
Fode, we all learn.
Fode,
we all go to school and learn. Let me educate you now.
Let them speak.
Every
You just accused me, say I lied. So you are being rude to me also, right?
No.
You agree that, right?
No, you started that. You may respond.
Okay. Let me speak that.
Now, I'll come up to
now, what Foday doesn't understand is that when the matter went to the Chamber of Justice, there were a couple of issues that were raised, and because one of the major issues was actually based on a constitutional issue, therefore he had to go to the full bench of the Supreme Court. That's what the law says, and this is what he doesn't understand. So if he had a ruling from the Chamber of Justice that narrowed it on whatever the argument was before the Chamber of Justice, before he went to the full bench, then he doesn't understand how these opinions are even written or even read. I went to the hearing before the full bench. The Chamber of Justice that even decided the case in Chamber had to recuse themselves. And before the full bench, it was a constitutional issue that was raised, which was the issue of immunity that Foday don't understand. You see, you don't read law how you read your novel. The court may pass on several issues, but they are containing issues that the court may want to discuss. The reason why Arthur Johnson and others went to the Supreme Court to put prohibition means stop all action leading to this case. And the only and sole reason was that these actors, in as much as they were serving as government officials, they are covered under presidential immunity. And that's where the Supreme Court said, no, they are not covered under presidential immunity. That Article 52 of the 1986 Constitution is supremely for the president. So that's the matter here that Foday doesn't understand. He just went there around and said,
please, 1 minute. You have the time.
There were two petitions.
We'll have to open it last
there were
briefly.
2 petitions filed by Minister Tuer, and maybe even 3, because for me, I did say. Because the first one was for the writ of prohibition for immunity.
Immunity, yes.
He was denied. They went for another one to call writ of petition for re-argument. They were denied. They went again for another petition, right? For claiming his immunity. They were denied. The thing is, just as I'm sorry to say, Mr. Masakwa is arguing here, it's a simple argument probably as well. Look, this thing is not about party or friendship or what. When the law is violated, you have to understand and move forward. The job of the Minister of Finance is one of the most difficult jobs any citizen can hold in any country, because there will be a lot of pressure from your superiors that will say do so. But most of those things may not be documented. And when they are not documented, you're not smart enough, you are not protected, most of the time you find yourself falling into a problem. Me, I don't know why that money had to go through FIU, because that national security money, it was going to the securities of this country. It went through FIU. And I know FI, Financial Intelligence Agency or unit or whatsoever.
And then even at the Supreme Court,
so it's difficult for me to comprehend the routes. Because it's not money laundering. It got no connection with money laundering. It had to do with national security money, according to what we are hearing. So probably maybe national security money, probably it would have been disbursed to national security agencies. Through the agencies.
And that was the caution justice.
In fact, you are immigration, AFL, police.
But you are not even there. That was the caution that Justice the new associate Justice Kane asked. Say, but if this money was for national security, why didn't it go to the NSA? Why didn't it go to other security apparatus? But however, this money was routed to FIU with a line item of purchase of stationaries. I was sitting right in the court that day when the argument was going on. There were 2 councillors for the state the county attorney, and there is another young guy at the Ministry of Justice. I just,
one of our colleagues, how they call it, he was one of the news.
They were the one who made the argument that day for the state.
Making reference to Kanwa,
of course, Kanwa.
The Ministry of Justice.
Yeah. He's one of the state lawyers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to open the line for a few minutes.
You want debunk?
You want to debunk?
Go ahead quickly, Master.
You see, it is shameful. It is extremely shameful.
Words are meant to be used.
No, it's fact. It's extremely shameful that people are going on a fishing expectation. This is the same United Party that accused Samuel Ditoe of stealing and continuing 16 billion, but they can't prosecute about that. There's the same very United Party that accused Samuel Ditoe of spending and stealing and pocketing 25 million in a mobile asset, but they can't prosecute about that. But they went for a 500,000 that was sent to FRA. FRA, under the law in this country, they are part of the national security and intelligence. You don't even know that, but you want to. You see, the laws and lectures of this country is written in plain English. You don't need to go to law school before you understand the workings and the lectures of the law.
So you have go pre-law now. So you don't need to go to law school.
So you see,
would be a terrible lawyer.
I'm talking again, you are talking between my own lines.
Yes, go ahead quickly, a few seconds. We got to open the lines. We got limited time.
I'm telling you that it is an utter shame, United Party, if they want to fight corruption. Somebody say off-budget spending. In 2024, United Party spent 13.3 million on off-budget spending. At the end of the day, bulk of this money went to national intelligence. You see, United Party, you can mention them in the rule of law. These are the people. Under the law in this country, a person is assumed innocent until proven guilty.
Okay. All right. I think you made your point. Let us start to open the lines. You made your point over to have limited time by 8 minutes. 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793. Or better still, 0886 050507. Again, 0886 050507. Or this alternative line, 0776 540 987. Again, 0776 540 987. That's the numbers to call, and you are live. I think Moses wants to call here. I hope he can go through. Moses. Oh, okay. Let me take this. Let me take this local call quickly. Good evening. Another call, another line. Good evening, Moses. No, that's not Moses. But good evening, caller.
Good evening. How you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Richard Fomo calling from Broadway to People's College.
Okay.
My only concern is that what happened between Samuka and he was mandated by the president to use the AFF money and other money today he was prosecuted for. So why Samuka can't go through the same thing? So it was almost similar to what happened to Bani Samuka, and today he was denied the senatorial seat. So that whole thing is that Samuka did something that which I thought they were not to do. If anything, you could have documents that was for the president. So that's my only point. So you need to be prosecuted.
Okay, many thanks. 0778 460 793. Again, 0778 460 793. Hello? Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
This is easy. For the township of West
Okay.
Sometimes we can demonstrate back and listen to the show, the picture, the analysis, and so. But when we look at the way our government is proceeding, that we still integrate the Sonko, it's not well. Just today, my finance minister was at the Senate today, and he was quick. He was asking questions. Are you a member of the national security? Mr. Gakwan answer was yes. He's a member and he's on the National Security Council. Stop tell me. Isn't that the same issue that is prosecuting Samuel 12? This country, we are all our own. And when we say the law is the law, let the law get applied to everybody. Tomorrow, the party will reach power. Even at the very Ministry of Information, there are bureau there, they call intelligence bureau, they give money to people for covert operation. There's another union come tomorrow and start to go after people. They just putting the country into cycle, the country is not moving power.
Okay.
There are more pressing issues in this country that they need to look after, that they need to tend to. They to running beyond Samuel 12, running beyond Pat Fisher, that not bringing no benefit, while wasting the country money, wasteful spending, that why they carry on. Because we're not seeing the fruit of how they're running after. They just want access the government every year. They put money there for budget. There is one access a year.
Okay, you make a point. We can't continue to be with you continuously. We have to take other callers on the line quickly. Let's just call good evening.
How you doing?
Yes, sir.
Jimmy down quick from my side. Thank you for talking to you, but it is good the way that as a finance minister into this comment. So that means that anything or anything that you're going to carry on the way of body, and that's very people like that too. So it's then going to start off it. So you can it's not part of the situation that your idea is going on show. So be aware that people who are part of good things, what they are going to do today, tomorrow is your action on it today. They will teach you like that too. So that's the deputy for the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, many thanks. You make a point. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, this alternative line, 0776-540-987. Again, 0776-540-987. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Josh.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the fascinating topic tonight. You know, can't tell them right alone. When we were running there, Baran Samuka, you lost the territorial post. Up today, they know that. They just did it just the beginning. They will land on road to go in jail. They will cash more. That the fight money. They see it, man. They must enjoy from the president, humility. I see president humility, Baran Samuka will enjoy from. They took the best territorial post. So after Johnson, they just starting. They will prosecute them one by one to pay. When a father they will pay.
Okay.
What I say? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You made a point. You made a point already. 077-8460-793 or better still 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507 or this alternative line 0776-540-987. Let's hear from you. Your name.
Hello, this is Laksana Sayo.
Okay.
Calling from District 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What we are on the topic here is about the Esther Brown Laksana along with Samuel Tue. Let's go to Samuel Tue first. Samuel Tue is almost the same kind of problem that Brande Samuka has. If you're talking about the Solicitor General lie, the man said the truth. Then it was admitted that yes, they used the money. Why they used the money for? What was the security problem? Let him be prosecuted. Because Brande Samuka was prosecuted. Brande Samuka, they allow him to run, make all the expenses, he win the election, they deny him a seat. Then we come to David Brown Laksana and this lady here, the girl Mutuska. David Esther Brown Laksana was with CDC. She was somebody that who used to be a co-watcher for CDC. Later, even between Polita Wuye and Abu Bakar Kamara, District 15, that woman, the one that brought a chaos in our place. And she was appointed as election commission. Why you think Gloria Mutuska would not be qualified? The lady is qualified. Let her go there. Why the CDC is different from United Party? They are all Nigerian. Anybody go wrong like Bronco will say no. And then you're talking about George Weah was so fair because 200,000 votes. Any you inside there that can 600,000 men for a year time? 200,000 people now one vote. A president told the win the man, he was forced to leave. He now coming to the American want to hang him because he knows directly the ambassador they gave him from the CIA.
Okay, that makes sense. We're taking the 2 more calls, 0778 460 again 0778 460 793 or 086 050507, again 086 050507, or this alternative line 0776 540 987. On 2 more calls. We'll take this one quickly. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. George.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, the Edward Brown Lashana and that of Gloria Mususta along with Semeto. Who said the Edward Brown were not in line with CDC? That Joey has someone careful, they were laughing. The thing was clear. Joey and more laughing. So he put a order to seek interest. So he think, whether you Gloria Mususta, get interest, would have Semeto today? No, CDC. You're not when it comes to politics, you're nowhere to use the party. They're going to rule the country for 24 years. You're going to say 24 years. We're going to fly. But for us, Joseph Paga will carry Jamak and go there.
Okay, it's okay. We tell with that one, please. Bring it all across the 0778 460 793. Let's take this call on the line. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, sir. Let's hear from you.
Good evening to the panel. Soko for tonight.
Okay.
Someone always thank you for affording all the thank you for education. We don't go you people. But I want to say this. 20,000 human beings are not anymore. They are human beings. You don't to be so one money. Now I can help people. But if even you 1% that you can help, 1% or 1% that you can help more than anybody. So I want to say, this president say now nobody powerful or nobody property. That people give it if they decide to take it for you. There is nothing. Even if President Baka to the president if they see if he can convince people to vote in that, no problem. But if you not go by that nobody property is people give it to you. So I know also I'm be on the show and they say Joe was sitting. It is that property. The president is not for nobody property is that is privilege given to you. If it be given to you, you misuse it, they take it for you. Talking about that you can put it as if human being you. So are you say that you can put it as if human being?
About the question for you.
You are
talking about. That was it did a property.
But you could say that
because they want to. Did I pay property before you come into the job? We are so an animal.
Okay, all right.
Because someone what who can use it on the media, otherwise it's very nonsensical.
Okay, all right. All right, gentlemen, let me thank all of you for coming tonight. We are not taking additional calls. I think we've gone beyond our time. Edwin, your party comment, and then George, Massaquoi, and Moses.
Well, I think it was a very good show, and to my brother Fode Massaquoi, we don't come here to discuss CDC or United Party. We come here to discuss issues pertaining to the forward march of our country. Yes, interspicingly, these things will come out, and we have to defend our side. But I beg you, you don't have to be, confrontational with issues. There are areas that you don't have expertise in, people who understand it. Allow them to speak to you, so we all can learn. There are areas that I may not understand. I will give you the chance also to speak to it. But when you come and start telling people, say, oh, they lie, they don't understand, whereby you don't even understand how even primary case brief is done in law school, then you
okay, let me hold you there.
I think it's disheartening.
Let's hear from you quickly.
Well, Councillor Scott is competent. When it comes to qualification, she's more than qualified to hold any position in Liberia, including the presidency. So if she's called to serve anywhere, she agrees to go there, that's her right. She's a Liberian. She has a right to do that. She was clear from the court. She's not a criminal and accused of being innocent for the court until proven by the guilty by the code of competence
Okay.
jurisdiction.
Okay. All right.
So-
Thank you. Thank you. Let me get Moses quickly. Moses, your parting comment.
Yeah, despite the technical glitch, I want to say it was a great show. And let me say thanks to everyone for the active participation. I think it was a great show. Just like my brother, Masakwa, who just came, but whenever he's coming, he has to come as a librarian. You know, sometimes we have to, you know, put all the party loyalty behind us. Because when you speak, people listening to you, you don't want them to think whether you live in outer space. So yes, let's just be a little bit reasonable.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Moses. Mr. Masakwa, let's hear from you. Your parting comment. Mr. Masakwa?
Yes,
Yeah, let's hear from you quickly. Your parting comment.
the struggle of moral equivalence is one of the greatest struggles of the Unity Party. Yesterday, they accused people falsely on bogus allegations that they cannot substantiate any one of them. There is an equivalent struggle against Samuel Tuet, or let J. Samuel Tuet to justify that he was corrupt. We saw that with Senator Magay. When he was clear, Unity Party people clear, when Magay clear like crime. We want to say this. We remain a sedition. When we come to the show, we have our political party, same way other people have their political party. On Gora Mususwa, she is a woman with a questionable integrity, no good mother or grandmother. We
Okay.
have been killed in the horse, and at the end
Okay,
of the day,
I think you said it earlier. That's your parting comment. Thank you. Yes, thank you for joining us tonight. Let's try to recognize some of our viewers now. Oh, my bro, he said been watching from the USA. Favor J. Cowboy Jr. He didn't say from where he been watching, or she didn't say from where she been watching. Finishers Junior Bar from New Crew Town. He been watching. Ophelia S. George from home. She been watching. Ibrahim Kali Amadou. Didn't say from where he been watching. James Halwanga. I'm sure he's been watching from the USA. Melvin and Nathaniel Roosevelt. Jolo from been watching from Monrovia. Ambassador Ibrahim Thilga Shaman from Point 4, San Francisco. And the rest of you, well, we can call all. Until tomorrow, have a pleasant night. Sabo George is my name.